Asking for a verse for free, you get an A for effort. It's a hurricane.
Hello everyone, this is Reesie from RP Couture. I am doing this video in hopes that it will help others to create masks that I pray is a little bit more effective in guarding against the coronavirus. I did a lot of research and I found some information online. Because I am a seamstress, I wanted to find a material that is used in the medical industry and that also is antimicrobial, which means that it kind of guards off bacteria. This fabric that I found, or material that I found, is a polypropylene. I actually had some envelopes here and didn't know I had them. They are from Uline. It's a DuPont, I think it's Tyvek, and I have 100 here. And what I've been doing is I've been cutting the envelopes by use of this pattern that I created to make an interfacing. And it's something that goes in between the double layers of cotton that I also use to create these masks. I was talking to my girlfriend today and I'm starting to get so many people requesting orders. And this is the cotton that I'm using. I have multiple colors. For the medical industry, I'm donating bleachable, washable masks, and they're white. The colorful ones, more decorative ones, I'm actually selling those to individuals. They also are made of the same fabrics. But I was talking to my girlfriend and I told her I wish I had a team, because I can only do about 25 a day. And I decided that the world would be my team. There are a lot of people out there sewing, and I wanted to give you guys an idea of what I'm doing really quickly to create these masks. So I have the pattern here, and this is 100% cotton fabric. I actually had to buy a twin sheet because the fabric stores are just overloaded and you can't get in there to get enough fabric in a timely fashion. So I grabbed a sheet. I have an order for some black, so I'm cutting out black right now. I have other colors pre-cut. This here fabric is folded and stacked. If you want to cut them out 2 at a time, 1 at a time, that's your option. But you need 4 pieces to make one mask. So I just wanted people to kind of go along with me during this process because we need a team. We need the world to be our manufacturing plant. I'm using a piece of cardboard that I got here. I do a lot of shipping. So I found a pattern online and I download patterns. And so what I did is, because they are paper, I decided to put it on cardboard. This is the original one, to make it a little bit sturdier. I don't remember where I found it, but once I do, I will include that link in the comments below. But I'm just cutting around the pattern, okay, with the scissors. And you can do whatever shape you want. People are doing the mask, the rectangular mask. I like this shape. I think they're kind of cute. So that's the first step. So I cut those out, and because I stacked them, I just opened that side up. So what you want is 4 to make one mask. And I'm going to show you what a completed mask looks like a little bit later. Okay, so there you have this. You could take your interface and your pattern and put it somewhere else. This is the polypropylene. Okay, so it's breathable. It withstands a lot. It's very strong, very strong. You cannot really rip it. You can cut it. It's really, really hard to destroy this fabric. And it also is used in biohazardous atmospheres and stuff for suiting and things of that nature. So I'm going to take the pattern again, and I'm just going to use this here and cut it out. I do it in different angles because I want to try to get as many as I can from it. Just to show you how I'm doing it. I'm putting that to the side. I already have some in here that's pre-cut. So what you're going to do is you're going to have 2 of these. And then you're going to take 2 of these. And you're going to put them together. If you have a print fabric, you'll put the right size together. And you're going to put 1 layer of the polypropylene here and another layer here. okay? So this is how it's going to look before you stitch. I stitch on a 1/2 inch because I create my own pattern. Some people do 5/8, however you sew, that's fine. But you're going to stitch along this line here. And when you stitch along that line and stop, you're going to take your next 2 pieces of fabric and you're going to do that same stitch right along here. And I'll show you in a moment me actually stitching this fabric. So then you'll have your 2 pieces. I'm going to show you what it looks like when you stitch it together. Okay, so these are, when you do it, it'll be stitched, but it'll have that top layer of the polypropylene as an interfacing. So this is how it looks when you stitch it together, okay? This is the wrong side. And then you turn it to the right side. I have one that's partially completed. This is how your finished product will look. You'll add the elastic during the process, but that you'll see once I get on the sewing machine. So this is how you start. Okay, so now I'm at the machine, and yes, I do have a mask on. These are the masks that I donate to the hospitals. They're white because they need to be able to bleach them. So the fabric is cotton, and the polypropylene in the inside can withstand, you know, washing and tumble dry heat. So with that being said, I'm going to go forward with taking the 2 layers of cotton here. Right sides together. It's solid, so it doesn't matter, but if you have a print, the right sides of the fabric will kiss each other. And I'm just going to get here. I don't know if you can see. That's my facing and elastic there. And I'm stitching here. Okay. You'll see here. And then I turn it. You see it has its shape. It has a shape there, right? So that's just one. Put it to the side. This is the polypropylene interfacing that I'm using. 2 sheets and also another 2 sheets of the 2 pieces of the cotton fabric. The same stitch. The same stitch width. Again, you're going to turn it, right? Same shape. Now this is sturdier. It has a protective barrier inside it. And then you take the other one that you had, and you're going to turn it back to the inside out, and you're going to layer them, okay? Seam to seam. Make sure the seams kiss each other. Make sure everything matches up, and you're going to stitch the top of it, the top curved edge. Okay, you can see it better on the white. You see that stitch going across that curved edge. Then you're going to do the same thing for the base. Now at the bottom, you're going to make sure the middle seams kiss each other, okay? Even if the fabric doesn't match up perfectly, it's fine. You can cut away the excess. But you're going to do the same thing, except you're going to stitch. You're going to stitch halfway from this edge to the center and back space, okay? And the reason is I'm going to leave that space open so that we can turn it, okay? Okay, so there you have it. So now the next step would be to use I use elastic cord. I have rows and rows of it, but I have some that I pre-cut. They're 8 inches long. And what I did is I tied a knot on the edge, on the end of each one. I want black. I have multiple colors here. You see, there are knots. I tied a knot on both ends. I also stitch on 7. This is a really tight stitch because it has to be able to go past the elastic cording. So the smaller the stitch, because the cording is small, and then the knot adds reinforcement so that it doesn't slide back through. Okay, so now there's an opening here, and then you have an opening here on the other side. Okay, you're going to insert, you're going to grab the 2 ends here, and you're going to insert it Now, I can feel the elastic in there. I can feel it. I'm rolling it to the top. And I make sure that that knot is on the outside because my stitch is going to come in front of the knot, okay? So I'm about to stitch from one end to the other. Make sure when you get to the bottom that you feel to make sure that you capture that knot, okay? So my knot is here. I can feel it right here. I'm going to hold it in place while I stitch. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Now you're probably wondering, well, why is it open? How are you going to put the knot there, the elastic there, if there's an opening? I'm going to show you. It's the same process. Hold it in place. Push it up. I'm holding the knot. The knot, I'm keeping it in place. I'm going to stitch over it. I stop there. Make sure I put the other one about a 1/2 inch before the end of this fabric. And I'm going to stitch over it. It stops about here. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm right there. So the elastic is about, again, a 1/2 inch or so away from the edge. And I'm holding it. And I'm stitching down. Okay, so basically this is it. The strings are attached. You can see the stitching here, the black stitching on the white. You can see, right? So now what I'm going to do, the space I left open, I'm going to work it through. Don't worry about it. The polypropylene is tough. It's not going to rip. I'm going to work it. I'm turning it inside out. I'm going to turn this here inside out. Don't worry about pressing it, because if you press it, especially if you use a heat press machine, 350 degrees, you'll have to make another one. Now, I did wash this. I bleached it, a white one, and used detergent on it, and I used a blow dryer to dry it. It kept its form. It did not melt. But when I tried to press it with a heat press machine, didn't work out too well. So now just turn it inside out, right? There. Your last step, you could do one or two things. I've been hand stitching. I don't really like a top stitch. You can put a top stitch there, or you can hand sew to close it up. So for the sake of the video and having a complete mask, I'm going to do a closed stitch to the edge. About an 1/8 inch. From one end to the center, because that's where your opening was. Remember the back stitch so your stitch doesn't come loose. Get rid of your threads. And there you have it. 100% cotton, doubled elastic cording, 100% propylene interfacing. Propylene is antimicrobial. It helps to stop bacteria from entering, from passing. So it's not a cure-all or anything like that, but it's an extra safety measure. It's an extra safety measure to fight against the coronavirus, and it's washable, it's reusable. So I hope this video helps. There will be links in the comment section to direct you to different sites where you can buy the polypropylene.